We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you seen Busta in the airport too. That motherfucker tried to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
Orlando Brown's wife has finally spoken up, and her revelations have left everyone on edge. She claims the family's safety is in jeopardy, alleging that Diddy has threatened to release a tape so shocking it could ruin their lives. This accusation dives headfirst into the dark web of blackmail and control tied to Diddy's notorious freak-offs, painting an even more sinister picture of Hollywood's underbelly. Orlando Brown, the Hollywood enigma we can't look away from, keeps people wondering what shocking move he'll make next. From his jaw-dropping interviews to his meme-worthy antics, Orlando has built a reputation for being unpredictable. Half the time, it feels like he's operating in an entirely different dimension. Just when everyone thought they'd seen it all, he managed to pull off something that left fans stunned. This past Christmas, Orlando flipped the narrative, sharing an unexpected wholesome family moment that had the internet doing double takes. In the post, Orlando posed with his wife Danielle and their 2 children, all wearing matching green outfits that screamed cozy holiday vibes. But leave it to Orlando to add a wild twist. He sported a glaring red Trump 2024 beanie, which immediately set the internet on fire. Fans couldn't stop buzzing about the photo, but the attention quickly shifted to Danielle. Many praised her for her unwavering strength for standing by Orlando, despite his roller coaster antics. Who could have guessed? Fans were completely floored by the realization that Orlando Brown isn't just a husband, but a father too. And as if the Christmas reveal wasn't enough to leave jaws on the floor, Orlando and Danielle hit their followers with an even bigger bombshell during a TikTok live session earlier this December. They're expecting baby number 3. Danielle, glowing with happiness, shared that she's 11 weeks pregnant, leaving fans struggling to reconcile this wholesome family man image with Orlando's chaotic reputation. Is this the same guy who's been a walking headline machine for years? Orlando Brown, once known for his erratic behavior and jaw-dropping controversies, is now making waves for a completely different reason. The revelation of his domestic bliss feels like the most unexpected plot twist ever. After years of public meltdowns, wild interviews, and outlandish allegations, who could have seen this coming? The internet practically short-circuited when fans learned that Orlando isn't just a family man, but is about to welcome his 3rd child. It's hard to wrap your head around the fact that this is the same Orlando who spent years spilling Hollywood secrets like it's his side hustle. Enter Danielle Brown, the unsung hero and ultimate ride or die. Often hailed as Orlando's rock, Danielle has kept things steady in a world where everything else seemed to spiral out of control. Despite being married to one of Hollywood's most unpredictable figures, she's managed to stay low profile, silently supporting him through some of the darkest and messiest chapters of his life. Danielle has been instrumental in helping Orlando get sober and rebuild his life piece by piece. With her unwavering support, the once troubled star is showing glimpses of a completely different side, a family man who might just be on the road to redemption. The couple tied the knot in 2020, with Danielle becoming the steady anchor in Orlando's turbulent sea of chaos. But let's be real, the internet wasn't exactly prepared to embrace this newfound wholesome version of Orlando Brown. Sure, he may have traded his wild antics for matching family Christmas pajamas, but the internet doesn't forget that this is the same guy who made jaw-dropping allegations about everyone from Diddy to Usher. Before we plunge too far down the conspiracy rabbit hole, it's important to remember that Orlando Brown wasn't always the controversy magnet we know today. In fact, he was once one of Hollywood's most promising young stars. Born in sunny Los Angeles, Orlando's star power was evident from the start. His godfather recognized his natural charisma and connected him with a talent agency, setting the stage for his big break. Orlando landed his first acting gig in Major Payne, where he shared the screen with Damon Wayans, an impressive feat for such a young talent. That role launched Orlando into a whirlwind career as the go-to kid for sitcoms. He quickly became a familiar face on hit shows like Family Matters, The Jamie Foxx Show, and Two of a Kind. Between the ages of 8 and 13, Orlando was seemingly everywhere. By the early 2000s, he had racked up an incredible 17 television roles, outshining many adult actors in Hollywood. With such a meteoric rise, Orlando was on the path to becoming one of the most iconic child stars of his generation. But then came the game changer. Disney Channel's That's So Raven. If you grew up in the 2000s, you know this show wasn't just a hit, it was the moment. As Disney's first multi-camera sitcom, it smashed records, set trends, and gave us countless iconic moments. From its hilarious antics to unforgettable costumes, the show became a cultural phenomenon. And for Orlando Brown, it was the role that solidified him as a household name. His star power only grew from there, landing him voice acting gigs in beloved animated shows like The Proud Family and Fillmore. By the mid-2000s, Orlando was thriving, booked, busy, and at the top of his game. But as the saying goes, not everything that glitters is gold. Beneath the glitz and glamour, cracks were starting to form in Orlando's seemingly perfect career. In 2007, things took a dark and unexpected turn. Orlando was arrested in Houston after police found marijuana in his car. He quickly claimed innocence, insisting he had no idea how it got there. But the damage was done. Disney, known for its squeaky clean image, wasn't about to let this slide. They cut ties with Orlando, effectively closing the chapter on his once thriving acting career. With acting gigs drying up, Orlando turned to music in an attempt to keep his star shining. He went the indie route, releasing tracks under Youngstar Entertainment, including a single titled Peter Pan. While the concept was catchy, the execution didn't quite hit the mark. No chart-topping hits, no major tours, just a lukewarm reception that barely moved the needle on his career. Orlando's music venture felt more like a one-hit wonder without the hit. The next few years for Orlando were nothing short of chaotic, a whirlwind of DUIs, missed court appearances, and jail time. His downward spiral seemed unstoppable. Headlines screamed about his bizarre antics, including a disturbing incident where he allegedly threatened a woman outside her apartment, claiming she was stalking him. But the chaos didn't stop there. Orlando's infamous interviews became the stuff of internet legend. In one jaw-dropping moment, he claimed to have had a romantic relationship with Raven-Symoné, his co-star from That's So Raven. And just when you thought he couldn't outdo himself, he got a massive tattoo of her face inked across his neck. It was a move that had fans and critics alike questioning his state of mind. By the mid-2010s, Orlando was no longer recognized as a talented actor, but rather as a walking, talking internet spectacle. His interviews became must-watch content, not for inspiration, but for their sheer absurdity. They were like a car crash you couldn't turn away from, filled with wild accusations, erratic statements, and moments that left everyone speechless. In one particularly outrageous claim, Orlando declared himself Michael Jackson's son and said he owned Neverland Ranch. If that wasn't enough, he went on to allege that some of the biggest rappers in the industry were secretly gay. These outlandish statements only further cemented his place as a controversial figure, leaving fans puzzled and deeply concerned about his well-being. For years, Orlando Brown's antics were brushed off as the erratic behavior of a troubled former child star. But as explosive allegations against powerful industry figures like Diddy continue to emerge, people are revisiting Orlando's shocking claims with fresh eyes. Among his most jaw-dropping accusations are those aimed at Diddy, alleging inappropriate behavior and, most disturbingly, acts performed on him without his consent. Fast forward to his infamous interview with Cam Capone News, and Orlando delivered yet another head-scratching performance. It wasn't just bizarre, it was haunting. He opened with cryptic statements, casually mentioning how he sometimes gets into his Diddy mode. Then, out of nowhere, he began dramatically licking his lips in an exaggerated and almost taunting manner, as though he was throwing heavy shade at Diddy. The whole scene was awkward, unsettling, and impossible to ignore. As if the strange lip-licking wasn't enough, Orlando threw in random phrases like "oosh kosh," leaving viewers completely puzzled. Was it some kind of inside joke? A secret code? Nobody knew. But one thing was clear. There was a lot more going on beneath the surface than Orlando was letting on. And just when fans thought they'd heard it all, Orlando dropped another bombshell. He openly admitted, without a shred of hesitation, that he actually enjoyed whatever it was he was cryptically referencing. His casual acknowledgement sent shockwaves through his audience, leaving them baffled, disturbed, and questioning everything.
Yo, Diddy, you gave me the ooshka skoosmash. You gave me the ooshka smooaf, the smoosmash. Diddy. Yeah, son. I mean, you gave me the ooshka smooash. I love it, yo. I love it. You gave me the ooshka smooash.
Many initially shrugged off Orlando Brown's comments as just another episode of his erratic behavior, but with recent lawsuits and mounting allegations against Diddy, people are starting to reconsider. The once dismissed claims have taken on a new weight, especially now that Orlando has made another bombshell accusation. He's claiming that Diddy is threatening to release compromising tapes involving him, footage that could destroy his life and reputation forever. As if that wasn't enough to grab attention, Orlando's wife, Danielle, has stepped forward with her own revelations. She's opened up about her deep fears for the family's safety, making it clear that this isn't just about her husband anymore. For Danielle, this is about shielding their entire household from a storm that's becoming increasingly dangerous and unpredictable. But how did Orlando Brown end up in the center of this tangled mess in the first place? The answer lies in long-standing rumors surrounding Diddy's notorious high-profile parties. These weren't your typical Hollywood gatherings filled with glitz and glam. These events reportedly had a much darker edge, featuring allegations of drug use, manipulation, and even recordings made without consent. According to sources close to the situation, Danielle is deeply worried about an alleged tape that Diddy may have in his possession. She claims he's using it as leverage, threatening to release it in an attempt to destroy Orlando's life. The details about what's on this alleged tape remain murky, but considering Diddy's long-standing reputation for filming his infamous freak-offs, it doesn't take much imagination to guess. This bombshell accusation comes at a time when Diddy is already entangled in a web of serious legal troubles. If such a tape exists, it could serve as a pivotal piece of evidence in the mounting allegations against him. Let's not forget just how chaotic this year has been for Diddy. In March, the FBI raided 2 of his properties, confiscating everything from firearms to digital files. By September, the stakes escalated when federal prosecutors officially charged him with running a criminal enterprise. The allegations? They sound like they came straight out of a true crime thriller. Prosecutors claim Diddy orchestrated a dark and disturbing empire, hosting wild, substance-fueled parties where attendees were allegedly coerced into acts they didn't consent to. Even more shocking, reports suggest Diddy made a habit of recording these events, using the footage as a weapon to silence and control his victims. The imagery painted by these accusations is chilling. Luxurious venues turned into elaborate traps, with Diddy pulling the strings from behind the scenes. If Orlando's claims about a tape are true, this could be the key to unraveling the entire scandal. The existence of such footage could blow the lid off what many are calling one of Hollywood's darkest chapters. And this isn't even the half of it. Victims, both men and women, have come forward with heart-wrenching stories that paint a chilling picture of Diddy's infamous parties. The accusations include people being drugged and waking up in terrifying circumstances. One man claimed he was viciously attacked at an event hosted by Diddy, while another alleged he woke up to find Diddy and others assaulting him, all while being filmed. Can you even imagine how horrifying that must have been? And now, let's circle back to Orlando. His wife's recent claims suggest that Diddy's alleged web of intimidation and blackmail might stretch much further than anyone realized, beyond just his inner circle. Orlando has been spilling tea about Hollywood for years, dropping cryptic, sometimes bizarre hints about the twisted secrets he's witnessed. While many brushed him off as erratic or out of touch, these new revelations cast his past comments in a much darker and more credible light. Meanwhile, Diddy's defense team is scrambling like their world's on fire, desperately trying to frame these allegations as nothing more than a greedy money grab. Their main argument? That everything was consensual, and the accusers are simply looking for a payout. But let's face it, with the sheer volume of accusations piling up, and now Orlando Brown's name being thrown into the mix, that excuse is starting to crumble under the weight of public scrutiny. Baby, this entire situation is wild. We're talking about drugs, violence, and even chilling whispers of human trafficking connected to Diddy's name. And who could forget that infamous 2016 video where Diddy allegedly assaulted Cassie? His legal team fought tooth and nail to have it dismissed, but the judge wasn't having it. Nope, this stays in. the court ruled, and that only made things messier. But hold on, it gets even juicier. There's a grand jury investigation reportedly brewing, with whispers of more charges being added to the pile. Imagine if bombshells about minors or this alleged Orlando tape come into play. If those get tacked on, Diddy's trial could be delayed even further, dragging out this chaos for who knows how long. With so many moving parts, there's no telling if the current trial date will even hold. Meanwhile, life behind bars isn't exactly treating Diddy like royalty. Word from Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center paints a bleak picture. He's reportedly looking thinner, grayer, and downright exhausted. Nothing like the untouchable mogul he once was. Sure, he's been on his best behavior in court, staying polite and composed, but the reality he's facing is grim. He's staring down a potential life sentence for the racketeering charges alone, and that's before you even factor in any additional time for the other charges. The judges clearly aren't buying Diddy's good behavior routine. His desperate $50 million bail offer for house arrest, denied without hesitation. It seems like the court isn't ready to let him out, no matter how many zeros he offers. To make things worse, his legal team has reportedly given up on trying to appeal the decision, an undeniable sign that they're running out of options. It's starting to feel like they're waving a white flag admitting the walls are closing in on Mr. Take That. So, where does this leave us? With Orlando Brown's wife stepping into the spotlight, the case is taking an even darker and more tangled turn. Her claims about potential threats and that rumored tape highlight just how far-reaching and messy this entire situation has become. If there's even a shred of truth to her allegations, and the tape exists, it could be the match that lights the powder keg, pushing this case into uncharted territory. All eyes are now on the prosecutors, who are gearing up for what's shaping up to be one of the most explosive trials in recent history. With every new revelation, Diddy's once mighty empire appears closer to total collapse. His legacy, once tied to fame and fortune, might soon be overshadowed by accusations and scandal. And let's be real, this tea is nowhere near cooling down. The drama keeps building, and it's anyone's guess what's coming next. Stay tuned, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding saga. See you in the next one.